The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots. Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Savannah Humoller, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Turn it up, baby. Turn the bass up. Turn the bass up, Chris. Turn my headphones up, Chris.
I wonder if they played Stampede in 1966 after a Cowboys 56-7 win over the Philadelphia Eagles. What do you think? Do you think that might have been the debut of Stampede, 56-7 over the Eagles in 1966?
Well, Bill, it should have, but that was a stampede, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It was a 20-point stampede this time, 33-13. I think all of our predictions were right on Friday.
That's
right.
Well, I was
button.
right there.
Mute button underneath your knee.
Me?
Someone else talk.
Okay.
We're just having a couple.
Mickey.
What?
Your mute button.
Your mute button, Mickey.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Dude, are you? Oh my God.
Okay,
This is like the third time.
What were our
Okay,
score
Savannah.
predictions?
30-27, way off.
I was way off.
Get out of here. Hankins, get out of here, woman. What are you talking about?
I know. I failed this week. It's fine.
Spags, too close. 31-27, way too close.
Got
Cooks,
31,
almost.
just 2 points off.
Cooks, yeah, but there's got to have a gap.
Okay.
Turpin touchdown.
No,
No,
didn't happen.
you.
Didn't happen. Well, we failed on our picks.
38-23.
Is that what I had? 38-23. I switched it to.
That's not bad.
By Sunday, I switched
you cover
it.
your bets.
The reason
You
I
had your
switched
bets
it
with two answers.
upon further review, I went back and looked at the last 5 meetings in Arlington between the Cowboys and Eagles, and the average score was 37-21 Cowboys. So I switched my pick to 37-21 Cowboys, and I was on pace there. Had we not called off the dogs there and settled for the field goal, we were on pace to get that 37 number. And we decided to opt for another 50-yard field goal.
I almost went 33, and I actually in my head thought I went 33, but I went 35 to 24. I was like, damn.
Still double-digit win.
Double-digit win, but I went over. Price is right.
Did
Price
we
is
all
right.
get it right?
What? As far as winning?
The win.
Did we all
of
have
course.
double-digit wins?
Wait, but then you had Cooks, right?
Me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did. That's not a win.
Well, I got a touchdown.
I had Turpin, that's not a win.
Not a win.
It was a win on the first series of the game, 22-yard run. We all get credit for that.
Hankins
Set the tone for the whole game.
Got hurt.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
you jinxed him. Yeah, at least.
It's my fault.
Way to
Sorry,
go.
guys.
And who did Bill have?
I had Turpin.
Turpin, yeah. And I had Gallup for a touchdown.
There you go.
I had
Wow.
I had a touchdown.
Who?
Didn't Cook score a touchdown?
No.
So that was Gallup. He set it up. Yeah, without Cooks, Gallup doesn't get a touchdown.
Yes, sir.
See, this is not the definition of team.
It is not, because
Okay.
I'm all
Not
out.
like the
I'm all
Cowboys.
out for
right?
myself. I'm
That's
sorry.
right. The definition of team is what the Cowboys not only did last night, but what they've done the last 5 weeks and over the last 15 home games. Winning as a team.
That's right.
Really incredible.
Last week, the offense had to pick up the defense. This week, the defense picks up the offense. And the kicker, by the way.
You know, you keep talking about this kicker. I'm finally believing you.
He's my favorite person
No,
right
he's
now.
really cool.
So
He's really, really cool.
During the warm-ups, as I went down in the bench area, trying to watch with all those celebrities down there.
Barry was there.
Barry was there.
You talked
John
him up.
Legend.
You talked him up.
John Legend was there.
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin was there.
Oh, yeah.
John Legend was there?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Emmett Smith. I didn't see Too Tall down there, but they showed him up in the box.
Everson was there.
I sure was.
And Everson was there, but you weren't on the sideline,
No,
were you?
no.
So
Too far
I'm
away.
trying to watch him warm up, Aubrey. And his last kick going that direction that he kicked the long ones, he hit from 58, and it hit up high on the net and hit the wall by the stands. And I'm going,
Which is like 15 yards behind.
well, at least 10.
At least
right?
10, let's say that.
And
yeah.
I'm saying that thing's good from 65
Yeah.
for sure. So when he sent him out
You can
there,
see him going to chase it when they went
yeah,
to the goal.
and then when they sent him out there for 60, I'm going, well, this would be a hell of a way to lose your streak, right? To miss from 60, but I'm going, but he hit during warm-ups. Can he keep his composure? Nothing changes. And that ball hit the wall again. It was unbelievable.
It was.
And the fact that he's made 30 straight now, the first time in the NFL, is one of the more remarkable stories the NFL has right now.
Is there another kicker doing something like that? Didn't I hear of another?
There's not another kicker in the history of the National Football League who has made 30 straight to start his career.
How about this year?
I left
Yeah,
my
somebody
It's
somebody
another-
mentioned that there's another kicker
I think
in the league right now. who's been,
Butker has
yeah, he's been like consecutive this year.
He was on. It was just on TV.
Right.
Yeah,
Kansas
and they
City?
said,
He's Kansas City.
Kansas City, right?
yeah, he's
Yeah.
having a good year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
recall.
But he's a
30 for
veteran.
30.
We're talking 30 of 30 here.
That's crazy.
And it just reminds me.
Got to do a 30 for 30 on it.
on this 30 for
Do
30.
Boom.
It reminds me of my conversation with Chris Boniol when the Cowboys signed him. And I told him the Cowboys' trouble this year is last year their kicker during the regular season made 90% of his field goals, and anything less than that, they're going to think, oh, this guy's no good. And Boniol goes, well, my kicker, meaning at the USFL in Birmingham, made 92% of his kicks. Well, now he's made not 100% of his kicks.
Really good.
Unbelievable.
Last night after the game, I was just watching some highlights, and there's a stat that came up that I really liked, and it was in 95 straight games for the Eagles. Last night was the first game in 95 that they didn't score an offensive touchdown. 95
Oh, wait,
straight
let me
games.
write that down.
Going back to, I think it's 2017 against the Cowboys.
Isn't that wild?
That's correct. 2017 versus Cowboys.
That's crazy.
95.
Yep. And
No offensive touchdown.
no offensive touchdown. Yep. Harrison Butker is 23 for 23 on field goal attempts this year, and he's 31 for 31 on PAT.
But he doesn't-
That's what I heard.
But he doesn't have
I
the
remember
length
that.
that.
I think I
How many
remember hearing that
50-yarders
too.
has he made?
3 for 3, 50 and beyond.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, it's pretty impressive. So,
It is.
and I thought maybe the biggest thing of the night, you win 33-13, and the quarterback wasn't happy with his performance. And basically gave credit to the defense and the kicker for picking him up because he only completed 61.5% of his passes. He didn't throw for 300 yards again, but he did have, for the 7th straight game, multiple touchdown passes. So, yeah.
And that's a record, a
And
Cowboy record, right?
Yeah, and he basically said if it wasn't for me, we would have scored 50 points. And you know what? He's probably right because you're starting to kick too many field goals, right? Coming up short. But still, that's a warning to everybody else. The quarterback didn't have one of his best games, and they still put up 33 points.
I haven't seen him make the same mistake twice in this year, during this streak. The only thing that I can say he has duplicated is his scramble outside the pocket is trying to drop it in over the defensive back's defender's head as the running back has maybe a half a step on him. And he can't make that throw. That's twice that he didn't do a good job on it. Both times it hit the defender, I think, in the back of the head. So, I mean, that's nitpicking. That's,
Right.
That's something that, and if those plays were not were completed, then it would have really put us in a better position. They were almost interceptions, both of them.
But they weren't.
They weren't. That's right.
So there's so much positive to talk about. I hate to even bring up a negative on the pass to CD down the sideline early in the second half.
Yeah.
And CD, he put it on himself.
Right.
On that.
Right.
Okay. Immediately, you add that. Let's say that was completed. You add that to Dak's totals, and that would have been a 62-yard touchdown. And that gets him up over 340 yards or whatever that would be, and 3 touchdown passes.
You thought it was Dak's fault?
No, I'm just saying CD. No, I didn't think
CD
it was
said
at all.
he should
I
have
mean, it was
caught it.
right there. The question was the safety came over, and on TV they said that the safety got a hand in there. But it didn't look like to me that I think the safety flashing as much as anything caused a disruption on it.
Well, what about the pass in the pass in the end zone when the guy took out? Was it Cook's legs?
Yep.
That okay?
I didn't see that.
No pass interference because he didn't use his hands. He used his body to take out his legs on the sideline.
But my point being, had that been completed, whoever's fault
Yes.
it was, so to speak. I mean, and then Dak's got another 300-yard passing game, and he's got another 3 touchdown game. As it was, he had 2 touchdowns and no picks. Just
Right.
had the 1 fumble.
So what happened on the sack fumble with Philly, and they ran it back for a touchdown? Because I caught a little bit of it, but what exactly occurred?
Cox got away from Zach Martin,
Quickly.
and the way he got away was by happenstance right into where Dak was.
Yeah.
And Dak was trying to bring the ball back in, and he didn't get it in. And
Didn't they say something like it was
out.
open on the other side of the field? He said something
Oh,
like
somebody to throw.
that.
throw
He said
it.
it was open on the other side of the field. And I think he put that on
He
himself.
said it
Yeah.
should have been a touchdown the other way.
Other way. Yeah.
And but he couldn't get away, and then the ball came out, and Jalen Carter rumbled for.
And the way that game was going, that was still not even dramatic to me. I still had complete confidence.
Yeah.
That
Even
it was-
though that brought the score to 24-13
did not
at
care.
that point.
Did not care. I really thought that, and correctly, that they would continue to move the ball on the Eagles. I have to say, I was dumbfounded yesterday on the improvements that they made. That's pretty doggone impressive. Defense comes out.
Defensively.
Come on, man.
Defense
they come
was
out,
great.
play great. We come out, kind of ran the ball a little bit. We ran consistently enough to keep them honest. They weren't not that many negative running plays, yardage wise, and you just have to be impressed. And also, I think the number one thing, and it didn't hurt us though if we had more than I thought. Not many penalties at all.
Yeah, just kind of weird ones.
Yeah.
When's the
7
last,
penalties for 60 yards, and they had 10 for
I can take
95.
that.
When's the last
As long
time?
as they're not timely.
When's the
untimely.
last time you heard a offensive lineman called for clipping? Clipping.
And in the booth, they immediately
Who
said that
got
wasn't
called
a
for
clip.
that?
Yeah.
The official in the booth on the Sunday night team said that's not a clipping penalty. That should not have been called.
I just was that one got me.
The battle between Gilmore
Oh, I was just going to
and
bring
Brown,
that up.
man, that's
So
old school
good.
stuff right there.
Veteran
bro.
cornerback,
that's old
right?
school stuff right there, man. Yes,
I love you said old school. When I tweeted, they showed a shot of Gilmore on the sideline with
Yeah.
his helmet off.
Yeah.
I said, Stephon Gilmore is so old school, he wears a breathe right. He's got a breathe
He got
right.
it right here.
The nose strip.
I need to look up, when did breathe rights come along?
It was no what
20 years ago?
What
10,
20?
I don't know.
I was gonna say 10. 10,
12 years
I
ago.
bet it's been longer than that. I'll look it up. You keep talking.
Yeah,
but yeah.
that battle was.
He did you were talking about it. Keep them in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
and even on the deep ones, he was with them the entire way. They didn't get completed, and evidently, I didn't get a chance to read the whole story yet, but I saw the little subhead. Evidently, Brown called Gilmore old.
yeah, he called.
They
him
were
old.
getting chippy out there
Yeah, they
together.
were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they were.
Gotta love it.
And how old? What is Gilmore's dimensions?
33.
But how tall is he? He doesn't seem that really tall or statuesque or, muscular or anything. He just seems like a crafty guy making defensive player of the year, man.
He's 6'0",
I mean,
190,
yeah.
All right.
33 years old.
We got we have a breathe right update.
Sneaky. He's sneaky good. Still.
Here's a breathe right update.
Just what we know.
Football fans got their first glimpse of the funny-looking adhesive nose strips. When? You said 10 years ago? I said 20 years ago.
I said 12.
I'm going 15.
In 1994,
Wow.
when NFL stars, including Jerry Rice, wore them as they ran for touchdowns on national television.
A year after I retired.
There you go.
We used to think, though, that
So
was
Jeez, that was a long
almost
time
30
ago.
years ago?
that was,
long time
29
ago,
years
bro.
ago.
that was
is-
like it was fashionable. It wasn't for
That's right.
being able to breathe.
But that's the first thing I thought
don't
of
know
when
if
I
it
saw
ever helped.
Gilmore
I
on the
tried it once.
sideline wearing a breathe
Didn't make a
right.
difference to me at all. Yeah.
They were supposed to keep you from snoring.
Yeah, my wife's tried to get me to wear one for years.
They work until the adhesive wears off, and then it doesn't help.
Anyway,
But Gilmore,
but as soon as I saw the quote about that AJ
old.
Brown told him he was old, I thought about taking down my tweet. I hope it's not offensive.
That's good.
that
You
was,
know,
that was
I-
quite a performance.
And we just saw a whole new defense. Opportunistic. I mean, come on. What,
they were-
three fumbles? Was
They
it
were
three?
hitting.
Three
They
fumbles.
weren't accidental.
No, they were not.
They were hitting.
Everything was deliberate.
There was a couple more that I thought the ball was coming out
Yeah.
that didn't.
Yeah.
Just the hits.
Did they know something? Did
Might-
they talk about that? Did
it might
anybody
have-
hear a statement in the press conference afterwards? Or?
I think this is the sixth straight game that Hurts has fumbled. It's part of the scouting report.
But it's our
It wasn't
first.
just him.
It was
Right,
the
no,
receiver,
sure,
right,
the
sure.
receivers,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, so it had
It
to
must
be
have been
something coming from in here.
That they were loose with the football.
That was
Yeah.
the most.
It may have started with Hurts. Yeah.
That was the most engaged I'd seen Donovan Wilson play this season.
And they shut me up because I've been complaining.
Yeah,
I mean, they just shut me up.
he was
bro.
hitting the blitz. He had.
The alertness.
Yes.
No step behind.
Right.
J-Ron on it. Anything that loose, he's trying to pick it up.
It
I mean,
was-
they just really. Yeah, I mean, they didn't shut everything down, but once again, they were opportunistic. Even when before we really went up and built a big lead.
Well,
they were
just think
still
about it. They
opportunistic.
held Philadelphia to 324 total yards.
It's incredible.
They held Hurts to 197 yards, kept the receivers out of
Brown?
the end zone, right? Now, Brown had 9 catches for 94 yards, but he only averaged 10-4 a catch. So they did a decent job there. And then the takeaways.
For both Brown and Smith, that's their first fumbles of the season,
on, man.
and Hurts has fumbled 8 times.
It's like we knew something. Hurts, you get it, but these other guys, first time fumbling. What are the
They've lost.
odds? What are
The Eagles
odds?
have only lost 9 fumbles all season, and 3
Come
of them
on,
came
come
in
on.
last night's
So-
game.
Come on.
So
What did they know?
One more quick thing. The Cowboys starting linebackers had 8 tackles, 2 passes defensed, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. What did Shaq Leonard do?
Is that rhetorical?
now that's
you
unfair.
know?
He's only been
Do you
there
really
for
know?
5
2
days.
tackles.
He had to? Okay.
Yeah.
You see
Well,
it?
we knew what was going to happen.
Right.
We were going to go at him.
And he would have been a depth guy here because those linebackers are playing. I mean, Damone Clark making a hit down the field. Somebody else's guy caught the ball. I thought they played exceptionally well.
Yes.
And Shaq Leonard had 14 snaps for the Eagles in last night's game. All right. Much more to get to after a 33-13 win over the Eagles. Cowboys tied for first place, and we're back in a moment.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing, the official roofer of the Dallas Cowboys. What are we looking at?
We're looking at
It's the offsides that we were just talking
Speaking of the
about.
Cowboys'
The
next
blue
opponent,
line. You need
the
the blue
Buffalo
line.
Bills, they're showing on the NFL Network right now, Kadarius Toney with his foot squarely on the blue line. He is offsides on that pass play to Kelsey, and then the backwards pass to Kadarius Toney got negated, and the Chiefs lose the game. And Mahomes was furious at the official after the game.
So
he needs to be
we're
furious
talking-
at his teammate for lining up offsides.
We're talking, what, 2 inches?
A toe.
But he's offsides.
And it had nothing to do with
Two
the touchdown pass.
2 toes, Tony.
I know.
And all you got to do is go check with the official there. He'll tell you to back up.
So
Right.
somebody asked me, I think the officials were on the Cowboys' side because they kept picking up flags. I go, no, the incompetence of the guy that threw them shouldn't even thrown it in the first place. What is he seeing, ghosts out there?
It was unusual. You don't see that very often.
No.
About time we got a break.
All right, where are we at here?
We're wherever you want to be at on your legal pad. There's so much
This
to get
is
to.
my play-by-play stuff.
All right.
There's no notes on it. Tied for first place in the NFC East. 10-3, 10-3. First tiebreaker head-to-head. They split. Next tiebreaker, division record. Cowboys are 4-1, and the Eagles are 3-1. So
That's
they
going
got
to change, though.
They got a half-game lead.
So if the playoffs started now.
That's right.
But the playoffs don't start now.
Still 4 games
So,
to
they've got-
play.
If we both win out,
The Eagles, if we both win out, the Eagles have the
That's
tiebreaker
right.
because of that Arizona loss.
why
the
didn't you say
conference,
that, Spag?
conference loss.
Don't give the people false hope, man.
And
You know,
the
let's
Eagles,
spit
the
it all
Eagles,
out, dude. Spit
the
it all
Eagles
out.
lost to
Why
the
do I
Jets.
have to be
What
the
are
one
the
to break all the bad news?
the
The reporters always
percentages-
come to me for bad news, man. Come on.
The percentages of winning 9 straight.
What are the? Do you think the Eagles are going to win out?
Well,
What I saw last
it
night
said
and last
they have
week,
the
they are.
easiest record, the final 4 games in the
They
They
NFL.
do.
Bill's gonna
we
tell you
have
that
the
means
toughest
nothing.
stretch.
Seattle Giants, Cardinals, Giants.
Bill's going to tell you that means nothing because they are trending downward. Is that what you
Exactly.
gonna say?
That's right. What I saw last night and what I saw last week, now granted against 2 of the
Good
top
team.
3 teams in the
Right,
league,
right.
they just don't, the Eagles don't seem to have that mojo that they had last year.
Well, I don't think their offensive line is playing that well.
They're not.
I know the Cowboys, would they sack them 3 times?
They sacked him once.
Once.
Parsons.
But they were.
Muscle
I
is
would
well
like
in
to
there.
see what the pressures were. The hits weren't that many. But the
He
pressures.
looked like Dak in San Francisco in the playoff game. You talked about seeing ghosts. Remember that? They were all around him, and he could feel it. And he wasn't sure at all in the pocket. He was not comfortable, not one time.
So the Cowboys
Was
only
he
had
dropping his eyes?
Yes, right. He's trying to see what's in front of him.
They only had one.
That's what Nick Bosa said last week
yeah.
after the Niners-Eagles game. He said their game plan was not necessarily to sack Hurts, but get him to drop his eyes where he's not looking downfield and he's looking at the pass rush instead.
They only had one sack, only 2 quarterback hits, but I bet there was at least a half dozen or more pressures. Where he got the ball off just in time. They don't keep pressures; they just keep quarterback hits. But they were pressures at key times too. The one Lawrence had, boy, he came right in his face, forcing incompletions. That's why he completed 18 of 27 passes.
That really wasn't bad considering the pressure he was
still,
under.
That's 67%.
That's good stuff.
Really good.
But his quarterback rating was 88. So
no touchdowns.
They struggled there. So, that's what we expected in this game, right? Maybe a little bit closer. Cowboys should have won the first game.
I didn't expect closer. Well, actually, I did. I expected 16 points, 37-21. But I expected
another 20-point
in this range. Win. Yeah. And even if you look at the history of
21s, that's nice blowout to me.
Yeah. In the NFL, that's a blowout.
That's a blowout.
So they won 8 games by 20 or more points, setting a franchise record for most 20-point wins in a season. And the 8 20-point wins are the most by an NFL team since 2007. So you wanted a quality win, you got a quality win.
You got that.
Right?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, everyone changing their tune.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
now it's Cowboys.
It's matter of fact and Dak. It's just so matter of fact. Oh, yeah, it's Dak now. Well, what were you saying even 2 weeks ago?
I think he's leading right now for MVP.
He is. Yes.
You got 4 quarterbacks on that list, 4 quarterbacks of 10-3 teams. At least the whatever rankings I saw last night.
Lamar Jackson.
It was Dak was number 1, Purdy number 2. This was immediately after the game last night, what the line was on it. Dak was number 1, Purdy number 2, Hurts number 3, and Lamar Jackson number 4.
Yeah, but you know what the thing of that is? That's betting odds.
Right.
Those people don't know what the people voting are thinking.
That's right.
So they can sit there and look at it objectively, analytically, but the people voting, who knows what they're thinking?
Because the betting odds are Everson's going into the Hall of Fame. He's the leading candidate.
As I said on
Betting odds.
on my fan thing, we got to consider the majority of the voters are in this Eastern Bloc, right? And I'm not talking Europe either. Right. You know, the East Coast, and I don't care what anybody says, there's a natural bias against the Cowboys out in the Northeast.
We have only had one MVP for the Dallas Cowboys, as far as the NFL is concerned.
All over MVP? Because Emmett won it.
Okay.
1 year, I want to say. I don't think it was just offense.
That's what I just said.
Oh, he's the only one?
He's the only one.
Did Dak?
How do you not know this?
I thought Troy won it 1 year.
He won the Super Bowl MVP.
That's right.
It's been so long since I flipped
can't
through the
believe I
media.
caught y'all. I can't believe I caught you off guard with that.
I know exactly where it's at. I just can't find it.
I can't believe I caught you off guard with that. That's something like.
How about Defensive Player of the Year? Nope.
Should have been
Harvey.
It was Harvey.
Harvey and
was it?
Defensive Player of the Year. I didn't.
It was
77 or whatever.
77, but it was before sacks became a legitimate
official stat.
And then they took away 2 of his.
Okay, when
they recounted.
Mickey is looking through the accolades all time in Cowboys history.
Pro Bowl, All Pro, NFC, All Rookie,
for the Most Valuable Player Award.
Other
came in
honors.
1993.
Coach of the Year. NFC Player of the Year, NFL Offensive Player. Well, it's a long list.
He moves his lips when he reads.
NFL Most Valuable Player, Emmitt Smith, 1993.
So Everson was right again.
That was
Yes.
the
There
year.
you
though,
go.
Right? That was the year, right? I mean,
for the year.
And then he won
I
it.
mean, like
He
when
won it for the Super Bowl, too.
But when he missed the first two games, that was
Yeah.
that year.
That was
right?
Yes.
that year. Even missing the first two games of the
Crazy,
season.
bro. That's so
right.
crazy.
Well, that's like you saw the college football awards the other night. Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State won the Doak Walker Award. Okay. He's out of Euless Trinity High School.
Nice.
And
Should have been Cody Schrader, led the SEC in rushing, by the way.
Yeah, boy.
But at Oklahoma State,
good.
Ollie Gordon, first 3 games of the year, he only had 19 carries.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they thinking up there?
Yeah.
Give this guy the football, So he basically missed the first 3 games and became the nation's leading rusher this year. And by the way, for you draft nicks out there, he is not draft eligible yet. He's just through his second year at Oklahoma State.
But he is in the transfer portal.
He is in the transfer portal. That's right.
And so is someone else from Oklahoma.
What is his team?
That's not the same school.
What is his team?
I said Oklahoma. Oklahoma.
He's going to Oregon. The quarterback from Oklahoma is
That's right.
going to Oregon. That's right.
Because he wasn't going to start at Oklahoma.
That's right.
Dang.
He's not the best quarterback on campus.
Okay.
Got us a Patrick Mahomes on the way. Okay, Mickey.
So how about this? They got all these other honors. Sports Facility of the Year award.
Okay.
AT&T Stadium in 2010.
Nice.
What's funny about that?
Just who would have? How do you factor that in?
Well, it was brand new that year. in
And where's the
2010.
And it was
And-
big,
and where-
larger
and
than
where-
life.
and
And
where's the
everyone was
trophy?
like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, right.
Where's the trophy? I'm sure Jerry didn't. I thought he could be parading that around somewhere.
Now
Okay, we'll continue reading through the Cowboys accolades
Hey,
and the
you
Cowboys media guide.
You let him pick up the book.
NFC
grabbed it
player,
Grabbed it first.
NFC Player of the Year,
Who?
other than Emmett.
NFC Conference Player of the Year is what
Yes,
you said.
NFC Player of the Year.
Give me a year.
Well,
That's too
that's
easy.
going to give it to
Give it up.
Is it just one?
NFC Player of the Year is 3.
3 of them.
82. Who was NFC?
71, Roger Staubach. 81,
Everson. No, he's defensive.
not Everson. I didn't say offensive. Tony Dorsett must have had a very good season.
Yes, he did, sir. Yes, he did.
99
it was
yards
like
and a
watching
half.
Michael Jordan. It put football pads on. It was amazing.
This is really amazing, though. NFL Offensive Player of the Year. They've only had 2. All these years.
Emmett.
And DeMarco Murray when he had the big year in 2014.
Great year.
NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Harvey
in
77, Charles Haley in 94. And that's it.
Harvey Martin, guys. Come on. I mean, I have to say it. How you get freaking Player of the Year? And then you get co-MVP of the Super Bowl. And you don't even, come on, give me a Ring of Honor or something, bro. Throw me a bone. You know, my family's from Dallas.
South Oak
Come
Cliff.
on, man.
The beautiful
Come on.
and off the field, you had the beautiful Harvey Martin radio show, and
That's right.
yeah, great guy.
Well, we're going to have the NFC Kicker of the Year once again.
Yeah, we will.
Richie Cunningham won it in 97.
All right, okay, we continue down Cowboys memory lane in a moment here on Mick Shots.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Did you know that responding to one spam call can lead to more? Or that the IRS would never ask for your social security number on the phone? Beat scammers at their own game by subscribing to AARP Fraud Watch Network alerts and texts. At aarp.org/beatscammerstx, you can sign up to receive information that helps you recognize and avoid the latest scams. That's aarp.org/beatscammerstx.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back to Mick Shots.
'Tis the season for youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Don't miss your chance. Learn from the Cowboys cheerleaders and former NFL players at AT&T Stadium on December 22nd and 23rd. Celebrate the holidays with the Cowboys. Register today at dallascowboys.com/camps.
Oh, love the
I like
music.
it. Yeah, I like the music.
that, Chris.
So when do y'all start?
Boy.
When do y'all start listening to Christmas music?
Now.
Maybe
Right this
now.
minute.
Yes,
Right this minute.
is the first one of the year.
2 weeks, maybe.
We're 2 weeks out right now,
Yeah,
Mickey.
about now.
You need to start. In fact, I was on the elliptical yesterday afternoon, and I'd listened to Christmas music for the first time this holiday season.
There
And I
you
thought,
go.
and that thought occurred to me: when should I start listening? Well, I was 2 weeks and 1 day out, and I said, "Okay, I'm starting to listen now, trying to get in the mood."
I listened
We're
to my
2 weeks
daughter
away,
this
exactly.
year.
from
Right,
Christmas.
I
today.
listened to my daughter this year. We put them up week and a half ago.
Your lights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and decorations and stuff.
Yeah.
I usually wait till like the 23rd.
That's when I do my shopping.
You know what I'm saying?
If
Like, come
I
on, man,
waited
man.
to the 23rd, I would
just go
say,
buy a
why
bunch of-
bother?
Why don't you
Right.
go buy a bunch of the flowers that you what's the flowers they have? The red flowers and pretty flowers.
By the way,
I went and bought some garland. I need to replace the garland that's on our fence, whatever. And so I
I
went.
have a black tree. It looks
What?
good. It really does.
that's cool.
The background is good, you know, with the sharp bulbs and everything, and it's pre-lit, so I'm good, man.
Really?
Yeah, my stuff.
Take a
came-
picture
I
of
just
it.
plug
I have
it
a
up.
white. I have an all white.
artificial.
Yeah.
Of course.
You didn't find a black tree growing
No, I
somewhere?
couldn't find that one. The Black Forest is too far. I'm sorry.
By the way, yesterday was they had the 7 decades worth of DCC reunion at halftime. Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Was Dolly there?
Really?
Someone looked like her.
Should have been.
Wait, you mean yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what those ladies were doing out there dancing?
They were all they were the alumni.
I had
The
no-
alumni.
I'm like, who are these people? You know, I was like walking around doing a lot of stuff. I just had no idea who they were. Okay, that answers a lot. That answers a lot of questions.
What kind of?
Good.
I got the rich bulbs on there. Nice.
Oh, we got pictures of the tree.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
my.
show it to the rest of the class.
Pre-lit, man.
Show it. You got a
Pre-lit.
camera there somewhere.
Yeah, right there.
There. This way.
Which way?
That way. Right there. You have it right there. Now we
Beautiful.
see it. There we go.
Yeah, good stuff.
Love the tree.
My
That's
daughter's
Everson's
she's
tree.
on it. She's on it, bro. We had to do all that stuff.
By the way, this being a Monday, we should celebrate the fact that the man with the most interceptions in Monday Night Football history is seated amongst us right now. In 24
You looked it
career
up?
games, Everson Walls had 11 interceptions on Mondays.
Well,
On Monday.
this thing here must have a misprint then, because it's not in here.
They need to add that to
Yes.
the Cowboys
Yes,
media
they do.
guide. Yet another record for Everson Walls. And by the way, did Duron Bland play in the game last
You
night?
didn't hear
He had a
much from
few-
him. He had
he had
a
a
couple.
few. He
had a-
didn't?
Plays, right?
He
had
did.
a couple tackles.
But I thought it was very interesting. The week before, all we could see was Duron Bland here, Duron Bland there, or whatever. And
You would
this
think they
week,
would pick on him, huh?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then this week,
Yeah.
it was Stephon Gilmore. Did you travel with receivers much
Yes.
at all? Okay.
Yeah. One of my proudest games against the Eagles, that's when they kind of stopped throwing to me around 86. And for the first time, Tom put me on Keith Jackson. He was the man.
Oklahoma
at
Sooner, tight
He
end.
was the man. And I shut his butt down.
Oh, Nelly, you shut him down.
Not that Keith Jackson. I had 6 knockdowns. 6 passes defense because they kept coming on third down. He was a third down guy. That's why we kept doing it. And so, yeah, that worked.
Speaking of the Eagles.
First time that
Did you
Tom had ever done
Did you
that.
ever have to cover John Spagnuolo?
Who?
John Spagnuolo.
Oh, the other tight end?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
By the way, here's an interesting fact on that Monday Night Football.
He was never a threat like Keith Jackson.
You know what happened, though? One year, I think it was 85, he had a really good first half. And the sports editor, the Times Herald at the time, he's at the game because he was from Philadelphia, and he comes up to me at halftime and he goes, if this keeps up, we're going to have a headline and a byline that says Spagnuolo, right? You're going to write the story. You're going to write the story, right?
Good stuff.
Well, the second half, the Cowboys came back, and it was a non-story afterwards.
How about this? The 2 leading interceptors in the history of Monday Night Football, Everson Walls out of Berkner High School and Merton Hanks.
You're lying, bro. From Lake Highlands High School.
From Lake Islands High School.
Wow.
Wow. Everson had 11 interceptions in 24 games on Mondays. Merton Hanks out of Lake Highlands High School with 9 interceptions in 23 games on Mondays. And he's tied with Emmett Thomas, former Kansas City Chief.
From Dallas, Texas.
He went to Bishop College in
right.
Dallas.
That's right.
How about that?
Wow. That's all Dallas, baby. That's all Dallas, baby.
So back to
Hey, calm down. Let's ride this wave for a minute.
Back to Bland.
Why you shut
Back to
why you shut
Bland.
down
We
my
just made
thunder,
Everson's
man?
day.
Because we started this.
Really?
Shut down my thunder, man.
We
Go ahead.
started this on Bland, right? He was tied for the second most tackles with 5, and he had 2. How about this? Tackles for losses.
Do you remember that?
I remember one because I think he.
It was a
blitzed,
bubble screen?
Or one was a bubble screen
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
He blew it up, and I thought the other one was a running play, and he came up and made the tackle.
Tell you what, guys, we talked about it, and I'm going to keep mentioning it. Al Harris doing a great job.
So good.
Okay, I got one more point on this Monday night.
What happened? Milk me, baby. Let's go, baby. I'm ready.
And then I want to come back to Al Harris. But since we're talking about secondary guys, who's tied for 4th on Monday Night Football interceptions?
And he's obviously from Dallas.
Out of South Oak Cliff.
Michael Downs.
Michael Downs
There you go,
with
boy.
7.
That's right.
How about that? Okay, now Al Harris talk.
Al Harris talk. He's the man. How proud do you think he is right now? You lose Diggs. You know, first of all, you had Diggs.
Right.
It was amazing, right? You saw something special. You lose that guy, and this Bland just kind of, I mean, he didn't just step up. He is anointing himself, you know, as the person to keep an eye on, except for the Seahawks game. And, you know, giving up a few things here and there. He's really, you take out the Seattle game, he's pretty freaking solid. He's really solid, you take out the Seattle game.
You know what?
I mean, I'm talking defensive player of the year solid. If you take out the Seattle Seahawks game.
In that conversation. And yet, who's the best cornerback on the team?
Gilmore.
That's saying a lot about your secondary.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sure is.
And, you know, and they didn't give Bland credit. They said, oh, he wasn't even starting this year. And it was like, well, he was starting on the nickel. You know, that
you're
kind of
starting
counts.
if you're in the third.
They still don't know how to quantify the starting defense.
The nickel, yeah.
Just the starting defense, period. And if they come out in the nickel, they still won't say it's the starting defense. They'll just say they started with nickel, right?
Which is like on the Pro Bowl team.
But on
it needs to
here,
be,
there's 3 cornerbacks as the starters.
See, I don't think they're consistent, though.
Well, they normally, the first group that comes out is considered
call
the
them the
starters,
starters.
on here.
I don't know how they do the Pro Bowl
Bland.
these days, but
Bland,
they need
Lewis,
to, on the
and
Pro Bowl
Gilmore.
team, they need to have a slot corner position on the Pro Bowl team.
So some teams start nickel the entire year. So what if you're a slot man? Your starting slot man does well and
Well, it's almost like
Should be up for the Pro
it's
Bowl.
almost like you need with the specialization on defense, you need to have a slot corner position. You need to have a big nickel position as well.
See there? And the Pro Bowl does not jive with that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you know the weird thing on here, they identify the player who starts by whatever their position is to start the year. So they've got the Cowboys starting 3 defensive linemen and 2 linebackers. They got listed Parsons as a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
What do they have? What do they have Bell listed as?
A safety.
There you go.
Because that's the position he's listed at. So they started 3 safeties, 3 corners, 2 linebackers, and only 3 defensive linemen. But they lined up Philadelphia for their first play in 3 wide, I believe. And then they went empty on the next one because they kept putting Swift in motion. But
nothing worked for them.
No.
Even you can call out numbers all you want. I think you said it earlier. It's when things were done.
I repeat,
Ours was done in succession.
Offensive touchdowns.
That's
and
crazy.
That was the first one in 95 straight games for the Eagles.
So who saw that coming after the Seattle Seahawks game? That we would play that well against this team.
You know what? And I think we got to come to this conclusion. People don't. It's always like, well, one game's a trend, right? But a lot of times it's just the matchups. Like, okay, you didn't match up well against whatever Seattle was doing, but you had a better clue of what Eagles were doing, and you matched up better.
And the key was when you couldn't match up well, you made the adjustment, and those changes led you to a win.
Right.
Strictly because of those changes.
And it wasn't the knockout punch, but the drive at the end of the first half, where they went 75 yards in 1 minute and 10 seconds to score a touchdown, and really
with Rico, that
broke the game open, right? That was, and that's on Dak. He doesn't get credit for that drive, but at halftime, his quarterback rating was like 110, and then he had that lull in the third quarter.
Guys, we talk about it. If they can't keep up with our offense, they are in trouble. Period. The pressure was on them, and they made it worse with the turnovers.
24
to keep up with us as we keep scoring and having these 8-play drives. Okay.
24-6 at halftime.
He was signaling us. It's time to go.
Yeah, but
the first time he did something without talking. Okay, that's the first time. That's the first time.
In honor of Monday Night Football and our discussion about the all-time leader in Monday Night Football tonight,
that took up.
we give you not 1 but 2 Monday night games, and you have a homework assignment. Cowboys play Buffalo this coming week, okay? We trust you saw the Buffalo-Kansas City game yesterday. Your homework assignment is to watch the Miami Dolphins against the Tennessee Titans tonight at 7:15 because on Christmas Eve, the Cowboys go to Miami.
So
the other game tonight.
Where's it being played?
Titan fans today.
At Miami.
Oh, shoot.
And the other game tonight is
what, you wanted to go?
They're in trouble.
Green Bay at the Giants, another one of Everson's alma maters, the New York Giants. Okay, that does it.
Are we out of time?
You have a parting Mick shot?
I was going to give you the halftime stats, but we'll just keep those for tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, we'll look forward to that on the next episode of Mick Shots.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!